I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Now, what do you think will be the repercussions of this on families? Let us say, because right now we have a lot of discussion over here, especially in Canada, with this thing that they're bringing drag queens into classrooms to dance for babies or children.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy on its own. But what do you think all this socioeconomic status or all this big bamboozle of politics will have on the population and the way the population see themselves? Because right now we have here in America, there's everything is emotions. I feel. Everybody feels like there's something they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You can identify pretty much as a microwave if you wanted to.
100%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how do you think this is gonna go over, especially
So-
with all this power struggle?
So, I think the answer is in history. I think one of the greatest empires of all time was the Roman Empire. And with what we're living in right now, there's a lot that's happening right now that was happening in the Roman times before the collapse happened. And the Roman Empire collapse was within. It was within. Okay. Societies crumbled from within. You had immature emperors taking over. I believe, I think it was 3, 4, maybe 5 Roman emperors that were teenagers. They inherited the Roman Empire, the biggest empire of all time, right?
That is mad.
With 3 to 4 teenagers, I'm telling you, and I understand like teenagers were a different breed back then, but still, like, but when you learn what they were doing, it's like, yeah, no, these guys were kids, and look at it right now. Look at it right now in America and in Canada. There's talks. I think we should. Increase the voting age to 16. Like I'm not joking, right? What are they saying? They're saying, you know what, kids are stupid, right? And they're only liberal anyway because the entire school system in America and Canada is hardcore liberal. So we're breeding. We're literally just like bringing down the age so that we get more liberal votes. That's all it really is, right? So forgive me. What was the original question? I don't want to start branching off.
What do you think would
Oh,
happen?
with the trans people. Okay, so the same things were happening in Rome, which is what's happening again here in America. America is killing itself within. There will not. Yes, there will not be a war. The Russia and Ukraine war. I mean, it's so obvious at this point that it's just it's.
I feel like at this point it's more like a war on the mind.
Yes.
Than a war of the body.
Yes.
There's no soldiers to fight the war. I mean, most of them are doing drag queen spectacles and whatnot. So
yeah. Just look at Zelensky. Like, this guy was literally naked on stage. He like have you seen these videos?
I have not.
You really haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it,
bro. He's literally. I can show you music videos. This guy was in a music group before, and he's not a trans, but he was with like a bunch of naked, I'm gonna guess, gay men.
So he's gay.
But in like the what's it called, the BDSM stuff.
So he's definitely gay.
If not, no, but he has a wife. So I don't really know.
He's still gay.
The point is, if you see the videos, there's no way in like you if you see the videos and then you add that he comes to Hollywood to get put on stage so that America can see him as this good person. Then they put him in front of the U.S. Senate over there, and he makes a couple of announcements where Ukraine is not a charity, something, all this bullshit, okay? It is, again, like the system, the people up here, they're not even trying to disguise anymore. They're literally saying, hey, guys, it has always been a show, and before we initiate the final finale plan, we're gonna in conclusion, we're gonna reveal to you that it's been a show the whole time. We're not even gonna try anymore. So, for example, the Zelensky thing. Look at all the Twitter files coming out with Elon, right? You think he can get away with that? Really? You really think he can get away with that without a bullet in his head or something like that? You know, the whole Epstein case, the whole
Oh,
the whole thing, how America finally knows that there's a gigantic pedophile ring behind the scenes, and it's been going on for decades. The whole Balenciaga thing, nothing happens. They're literally telling you, and all of this information just coincidentally has come out in the last year and a half. How could every secret that's been saved for decades come out in a year? And the people releasing the information, nothing happens to. They want you to know. They want you to know. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's part
do you
of
think
it.
that's what it is?
Yes, because in satanic rituals, okay, there's a rule with
Yes,
them.
yes, I'm aware of this.
Yes.
They need you to know
Go ahead.
what's going on because they
Yep.
believe in karmic retribution.
Yes, it's a fair deal if you really think about it. As a capitalist, it's a fair deal. Watch this. It is simple. It's like, hey, you made $1 million. Okay, let's say you make $1 million this year, and I simply say, hey, can I have some? And you're like, no, fuck no, right? That's rational. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They do the exact same thing, but they just design the question in different ways where you now have to question it yourself, blah, 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 and before you know it, you gave your money away. But you did it. The devil didn't come knock on your door and take it away. He simply asked, and you slowly kept giving in due time. So here's how they do it. It's always been two genders, right?
Yeah.
All you have to do to create chaos is this. How do we know it's two genders? That's it. That's it. You just have to be a conglomerate news reporter, okay? You can be Vice, that stupid liberal piece of shit.
That does sound like some devil type of question.
That's
How
it.
do you know that's the
how do you
apple
know?
from God?
That's it, right? Look what they're doing.
Doubt.
Yeah, look what they're doing right now. That you can even see. I swear on my life, you maybe missed it, but it was on Fox or CNN, whatever. Girl comes on. Math is racist. Math is racist. Math is racist. Yes, math is racist. This is what I'm talking about. They are grabbing basic law. It's not a conversation. Hey, 2 + 2 is 4, right? Yes. Okay. So it's very easy to conclude that it's not something to dispute. It's only something to understand.
Yes.
That's it.
Correct.
But they just stick to this. Let's just dispute. How do we know 2 + 2 is 4? And as long as you do it in a way where at some, like, hey, this is on mainstream news, the consumer will somewhat take it seriously. And all you need is a dummy to start questioning it. A dummy with 100,000 followers, right? And
Yes.
boom. A whole new stream, a whole new river of chaos coming into it. And then now we have all this mess. It's just a giant mess of things. And here's how you beat it. Okay. And I believe we talked about this part. I have a saying, and I've coined this saying. Anything at all that complexes simplicity is the devil. When you look deep into it, where it comes from, where the complexity comes from, you will learn very, very fast that is where the devil resides. It's as simple as that. There's always been two genders. Now there's 64. Okay, we've let that narrative happen a little bit, even though we know we disagree. But okay, let us allow yourself to be yourself. And look where we are. Look where we are.
Do you think this is part of what the Bible quotes in the Book of Revelations?
Yes.
Yeah, like you
Yes.
think Armageddon is close because of all of this? I mean, it did predict in the Bible. It did predict that the superpower of this time, which is the U.S., will go down,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that, it will be a period of great calamity, and then after that, that's when the ending will come.
So yeah, exactly, right. And we keep tickling the same kind of topic, right? Like this whole global happening. So I'm going to bring it into another perspective, right? So in the underworld, so like with mob bosses and cartels and all that kind of stuff, and something maybe we both understand, you being Cuban and me being Italian, right? So when a mob boss or a cartel gets killed, right, or he's put in jail for life, or some sort of the head is taken off, okay, there is almost certainty that chaos comes right after that within the community, the cartel, or the country. Correct? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
there's a new leader that comes into play, and in order for that new leader to be taken seriously, a lot of serious actions need to be taken for the respect to come his way. Right?
Hmm.
It's just a power play. That's all it really is. He doesn't even, hate the people that he probably has to kill right away, or just make an example out of. But he must make an example out of them in order to survive in longevity, because a part of a cartel's longevity is how much respect is given to him. That's his currency. Respect is a cartel or a godfather's currency, right?
Correct.
So you need to earn that, especially if you're the new guy, because everybody wants that spot when it's open for even a little bit. And now you got that spot. Now you got to prove that no one should fuck with you. So the same thing's happening right now. After America goes down, you think China and Russia are truly going to stay friends?
Probably not.
Probably not, because they're both an equal number two, and
Yes.
they both think their ways are good enough to be number one. So it's
Yes.
a clash, and if you ever play poker, you learn this way. You learn this way a lot. If you're a big stack at the poker table, you shouldn't be in every single hand. You should not get involved in every single hand. America has gotten involved in every single hand, and I think in the long run, this is why they're losing. They're in too many hands, too many, and you've created too many enemies. You know.
Do you think there are gonna be innocent bystanders? I know by default there
Mm-hmm.
is always innocent bystanders in any
Always.
conflict. But do you think there will be any particular countries that will be affected by this?
Yes, it looks like a lot of African countries are again going to fall victim into a lot that's going on. They are already corrupt in so many different ways, from their its resources being captured by other countries, and you have to understand that it's their governments that allow it. It's their governments that are corrupt. So I think it looks like Africa, a lot of African nations are taking the hit. We're actually already seeing it. Right now, there's riots and chaos in Nigeria, and Nigeria, I believe, is one of the higher end of like of an economy in
Hmm.
Africa. I could be mistaken, but I collect that survey from all the Nigerians that I talk to. So we will. I believe Africa is going to be the first to see a lot of blows with what's coming. Not to even mention, China has already gotten their claws in a lot of African infrastructure. And Africa is going to, China likes it when you go in debt to them. They enjoy that. They don't mind. And China, I believe, is doing a lot of infrastructure work in a lot of African nations. And when it comes time for Africa to pay back, they won't be able to. And the reason why they won't be able to is because of what's coming on a global spectrum. Probably like their money won't be worth anything, or they're going to try and pay them in U.S. money, but now U.S. money is worth nothing. So how can you pay China back, right? And China's like,
Yeah.
oh, don't worry about it, and then we're just gonna you owe us, but we're gonna take over this
I
nation.
have seen that there are many countries that are in debt with other countries, have no way to pay them back.
Hmm.
But they keep borrowing. So how could you keep borrowing when you have no way to pay it back? And then those
Yeah.
countries have nothing to back up that actual debt.
Hmm.
So it's like broke people lending to
Yeah.
broke people,
Yeah.
hoping for a better result.
Do you remember last August? Do you remember Sri Lanka last August? I think it was. So Sri Lanka, so they got their new president. I think their current president stepped down. This new president comes in one weekend, it gets on TV for all the Sri Lanka to see. And he's like, "Hey, everybody, the country only has 4 days of oil left.
What?
Yeah, we only have this much oil left, and we can't get any more because our debt to America has surpassed, and I think it was, we cannot ask for a loan anymore. No one's willing to give us a loan. We can't get bailed out." Instantaneously, I forget the number, but that day alone, the amount of people that got murdered in that country just on the street, and you can see videos, hopefully they're still up, you will literally see people grabbing their Sri Lankan money and throwing it out the window. If you just walked on a main street, it was just Sri Lankan paper money all over the ground
Oh wow.
in a day. So
Wow, 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 wow.
yeah.